Ooh, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, and welcome back to Scar World, where we're building our super awesome modern house. And in today's episode, we build one super awesome Olympic-sized swimming pool. So let's get this episode underway. Alright, and welcome back to Scar World, where we're building our super awesome spore house here, where we've got our exterior and our interior all set up and ready to go. And this place is nearly complete, but we have a few more episodes to go, and we'll have this landscaping in the backyard all set up and ready to go. We've got our roaring fire in our kitchen and all sorts of good stuff, but look at this giant hole in the backyard that we've got to cover in and make this area look beautiful and natural and somewhere that you want to come out and hang out in your backyard. So as you can see, we've got our lawns and pathways and custom trees, and of course we've got ourselves our very own basketball court. Look at this place. It looks awesome. We've got our basketballs, we've got our hoop, and all sorts of good stuff. But we've got plenty of work to do, my friends, so let's get right into it. So as you can see, we've got this giant pit here. And what we're doing is we're starting to incorporate some actual natural things into it. So as you can see, we have our beautiful pathway leading down. So if you're building along with me, just kind of figure out how much of a pathway you need. Each pathway is going to be a little different. So let's pull out our palette of materials, and you can kind of see the basic shapes that I have here. And then as you can see over here, I've brought this pathway just out to about here, nothing in particular. And then I've got this down here. So this is where we're going to start. So this is where I want you guys to start with your tutorial if you're following along with me. So right here we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go 9 across and 33 long. So we're going to take these blocks like so, and we're going to dig this down 33 blocks all the way down there, then go 9 and 33 back, and I'll meet you there. And we'll come back. So we have the basic layout of the pool set. So you might be wondering, why did we pick this particular design of a pool, Scar? Let's quickly grab ourselves a milk chocolate stair. There we go. And that's what I want to talk about now. So first thing I want to do is show you guys this. So we're going to go boom and a bam like that. I'm just going to bring this out a little bit so you guys can get an idea of how the decking around the pool will go. So as you can see, this is kind of the basic design we're going to do. We're going to have at least a 2-block buffer on either side. So let's go over here and give ourselves that 2-block buffer. There we go. Very, very good. So we have a little bit more room to work with. There we go. And then we're going to sneak on the other side of our pathway. And then we're going to bring this block all the way across here. Now this is kind of an optional area. This is if you want to have some areas for lounge chairs or different things like that. But this is a competitive pool. So this is a pool that is set up in a competitive way for lap, just plain lap pool, so you can swim back and forth or have competitive meets in. So I was a competitive swimmer for most of my life before I got sick, and I've wanted to build one of these style pools in Minecraft for quite some time, but I wasn't quite sure how to do it. I never really got around to it because we did a lot of other beautiful pool designs. But this is my chance finally to kind of do this design. So when you think of a competitive pool, what comes to your mind if you're a swimmer? And of course, you know how to let me know. Let me know if you guys are swimmers also in the chat there of the comments. So let me swoop on over here. I don't even know if this is Twitch or YouTube. I'm like, chat, the comments. I don't know which one it is. But anyway, let me know. And so when you think of it, you think of, a really nice competitive pool will have like seamless gutters. So the water can just like roll right over the edge into the gutter. So there's not a giant wall that the waves are hitting against and bouncing back. So that's a good sign of a good pool, is something that has a seamless gutter. Next would be blocks. Of course, you got to have your block to jump into the pool, right? So you got to design yourself a block. Next, you need flags. So when you're doing the backstroke, you know that you're coming up on, of course, the end of the pool, so you can turn around, do your flip turn, and bounce right back. So that's always important. You got to figure out. Next, you got to figure out lines. So if you have a lap pool, so if you're doing your practice and your competitive, swimming, you got to do lots and lots of practice. And of course, if you're on a team, you'll have lots of people in the pool with you. So you need to have lines down the middle of the pool so that everybody is swimming in the right direction. So we've got to think of, the black line that goes across and the black kind of X that goes on the wall, so you know how to do your flip turns. So that is kind of the basic things you need to do when you set up your pool. So as you can see, we've got our decking all complete and ready to go. So next thing we need to do is sneak on down here and start excavating some of the stone. So we're just going to do this section real quick through here, and we got to decide how deep we want to make the pool. Now, any good competitive pool, at least when I was swimming, was if it was pretty much the same depth all the way across. So let me just get this a little bit more down. So I'm thinking of doing something like this. So about 3 blocks down. So we have stair block 1, solid block, and then we do the pool bottom right here. So what are your thoughts on that? I think that's pretty good. So this is a serious pool. This is a, you know, we can still have fun in here and jump about and have pool toys and all that good stuff. But for the most part, this is a serious pool. So let's excavate all this land, and then I'll meet you back where we start adding some of those fun details. All right, and welcome back, and look at our beautiful pool all set up and ready to go. We've got this all set, so let's jump over here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna start adding our blocks. So we're gonna place that right in the middle here. So then let's go boom, boom, bam, like that, and we should have a spacing of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 on either side. Beautiful. And then let me swoop on over here, and what we're gonna do is we're going to place 2 blocks of quartz, and then right here we're gonna place a stair, like so. And then we're gonna place one more end that comes out like that. Beautiful. We're gonna place 2 buttons on either side, and I'll give you a little bit more background on why that is in just a moment. And there we go. We've got ourselves our block all set up and ready to go. So of course, this is the block that you, at the start of your races, would hop up onto and then jump off for everything but backstroke. So for backstroke, you would jump into the pool and you'd grab up through some bars up here, which we're going to use those 2 buttons as. And you then once the beep would go, you'd jump backwards and into the pool, and off you go doing your backstroke. So got that set up and ready to go. So next thing we're going to do here is we're going to figure out a good spacing. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to cut that out and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me see if that's a good spacing. I think that's good. We can always do it more because what we're doing is not too scientific. Because we can always push it back a little bit more, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear all that out of there, and we're gonna make some flags. So we talked about this a little bit before. You can pick out any color you want. So I'm gonna go with dark blue and red. I could go with orange and black. That was my old swim team colors. Yeah, nah, I think I'm gonna go with this one. I just think these look kind of cool together. And then we're gonna take some iron bars, and what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go boom, and you guessed it, bam. And then we're going to bring this pattern all the way across. There we go. And then if you're making this, do this in your own swim team's colors. This was actually, once I think about it, one of my swim team's colors too. It was this color across here. I'm noticing right off the bat that I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut in and do it off of this section. The reason I'm going to do that is I think we can get ourselves an extra, color out of it, an extra block of color. And I think that's a better choice than having it inward like that. So I'm gonna bring that up one more like that. There we go. So I think that's cool. So we're actually gonna go like that. Yeah, so the team I was on right before I got sick was actually these colors. And then the one that I was on for like 10 years or more was actually black and orange. There we go. Put that across there, and there we go. That looks much better. What do you think? The original one or this one? I'm feeling like B, the new one, looks better, but if A looked better, you know to let me know, So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to place one more block on top, and no, we're not going to do that. We're going to back that off. We're going to swoop into our magical inventory, and we're going to grab ourselves out, where is it? There it is, beautiful. And we're going to drop that on the top like that. There we go, that looks awesome. So that is the flag. So when you're swimming backstroke, you see those flags and you count 1, 2, 3 strokes or so. Then turn on your stomach, flip turn, and then shoot off back towards the next direction of the pool. All right, there we go. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the lap line in the pool. So this is the little black X that goes in the middle of the pool. So when you're lap swimming, you want to stay to the right-hand side. So you swim this way, then when you come back, you'll go around. So you come into the pool and you do your flip turn, you turn around and then shoot off like that. There we go. And you can do it something like this. So you can do something like that, or you can just do it like that. Kind of just depends on however you want to do it. We'll just do it like that for now. And then you can run this across here. So whenever there was a time when practice wasn't going on and you had to do like lap pool, like lap swimming or whatever, just like the time when like anybody can come and just do laps in the pool. It wasn't like, roped off for our particular time when our swim team was swimming. There was always the older guys. Like the older guys would come in there and they would say, no, I don't think I'm going to do the lap swimming. What we're going to do is we're just going to have the, you stay on this side, you stay on that side. It was the most annoying thing of all time. So if you are a swimmer, if you ever had to deal with that, that was so annoying when they would do that. And they would do it every time. I was like, no, this is how you do it. This is the appropriate and right way of doing it. It was always my pet peeve in swimming when there wasn't practice and we had to do lap swimming. But anyway, the time of year right now, so we're in fall. And this was the time when we would be transitioning from long course swimming, so that's the big pool. That's the big Olympic-sized swimming pool down to the 25-yard pool. And that was the indoor pool. So the 25-yard was inside and would be coming out from the big pool, which was outside. And it was always depressing because you'd be going back inside. It was going to start raining. And I don't know. I always got sad at this time of year for a little while because it was like, But then, you know, I almost think I always did a little bit better in short course, 25 yards, so meter. There's some pools that are in yards, some are in meters. There we go. And put that across there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fill this in like so. There we go. And you might be wondering why we did it this particular way. This is just the way I like to do it. There we go. Get this all filled in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back. And of course, we are going to cut out all of that dirt. And then the water will evenly flow all the way around the pool. There we go. All set up and ready to go. So give me 1 second. Let me add the flags to the other side and remove that dirt layer. All right, and welcome back. So what I'm doing now is adding a little bit of spruce leaves to the edges of the decking. So as you can see, I've run this all the way across here and then just added some dirt on the sides just to give it a little bit of a buffer room. And there we go. What do you think of it? Doesn't it look pretty cool? Is this a kind of a mini lap pool? And this is the kind of pool I would love to have. Like this would be an amazing thing. Like if you're a swimmer and you look at that, you're like, that is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. But anyway, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start to spruce up the landscape around it. So first thing we're gonna do is we're going to build some olive trees. That's right, we're gonna build some olive trees. The design of these houses that are in this area of the world, I've kind of designed them as to be kind of in the California region and kind of maybe in like Silicon Valley, somewhere around there, because I figure, you know, there's lots of money there, so big mansions like this would kind of be there, I suppose. And it's a really cool area too. So one of the types of trees that people love to plant around there is olive trees. So why not plant a couple olive trees? But one thing I think is really important about swimming is to make sure you learn how to swim and not just be able to, you know, kind of bob about or something along those lines, but actually understand the basic strokes and to be able to hold yourself up in a pool. I think it's really, really important. I was an instructor for a very, very long time, since I was like 12. And then finally, eventually, I was kind of the head instructor, and I was able to, you know, I was able to get paid at that time, and it was really cool to be able to teach kids how to swim. And also it was really cool at a young age, like as a young teenager, to actually have a job and to really kind of feel accomplished to be doing something I thought was really important, especially for young people, were to teach them how to swim, because I think it's really important that you teach kids how to swim. I think it will save their life at some point. And I think it's really important. So if you don't know how to swim, I would highly encourage you to maybe take some lessons. I think that's really important to do, and to just learn the basic strokes. Not that if you want to become a swimmer, not at all. If you just know kind of the basic strokes, and you'll be a lot safer, you know, knowing, you know, how to swim, and, you know, playing basketball or football or something, that's not going to save your life one day. But knowing how to swim, taking some lessons, learning the basics, will definitely could save your life at some point if you were to end up in a situation that you weren't anticipating, and all of a sudden you're in the water and you have a problem. So yeah, I always encourage people to always learn how to swim. Just the basics, just the basics. It's cool to learn how to swim and actually be competitive at it, but if that's not your thing, you just want to learn the basics, that's awesome. I taught thousands of kids how to swim. Some went on to the swim team, some just wanted to learn the basics, and that was all they wanted, and that's perfectly awesome. There we go. So as you can see, we're just kind of putting down some of these olive trees. I think they look pretty darn cool. And you can kind of stagger them anywhere you want. Just kind of stick them around. So you can just find a little spot here and there and just dig one in and start planting it and start building up the landscape and all sorts of good stuff. There are other choices you could do. You could do more of, say over in our other modern house where we built some other style trees, some very tall kind of pointy trees. So you could take some oak leaves and kind of make those. You can kind of almost topiary shape them a little bit. So you could add some bits of topiary and all that good stuff. I think that would be really cool. So I think the olive trees will look pretty cool. I actually think olive trees are actually kind of messy, so maybe having them by the pool is maybe not such a good idea. But anyway, I think they look good in our little Minecraft world. All right, there we go. Put that across there. Beautiful, wonderful. And we can get that across like so, and then bring those all the way around there. Nice, nice, nice. There we go. And bring that all the way across there. Awesome. So there we go. So we're starting to get some of our olive trees planted around the pool. And have you noticed just starting to add some green life, things like that, really start to bring up the beautiful design out of it. We have like a cool structure built, but it's the green, it's the plant life that really brings out the actual build. But I'm going to stop here for now, and we're going to move on to our lawn. So what we're going to do now is start to plan out our lawn. So we're just going to start to get kind of some basic shapes built up here for our lawn. That's Scarfail. There we go. So we're just going to get some basic shapes here for our lawn, getting something down. We don't have to get anything permanent like we talked about when we did our lawn on the other section. Just getting the basic shapes and to start bringing it down. So we want to create a bit of a terrace like we talked about before. So we'll start to kind of slope it down. So we'll start to grab out these blocks and start to kind of, just get it going a little bit. So you just kind of take these blocks and you kind of run them along. Now the first pass, once you start to get the basics down, you get this all built, you're going to adjust it a million times. So that's what we're going to do. So just grab a hold of some of these blocks and start bringing them across like this. There we go. Start bringing them across like that. Start dipping them down. So right here, we just want to start bringing this one down a little bit. Then we can kind of match it up here. And we can bring it up to about there. See how we do that? That's really cool. You start bringing in the lawn, and you start bringing in some of that nice earth colors into it, so it's not all just stone and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll see you in just a minute. Let me finish this up. All right, and welcome back, and look at our pool and surrounding landscape. It is really coming together and looks quite a bit better. So at the end of the video, definitely go back to the beginning and check out what this pit looked like before. And now we've got a cool little environment. We've got our landscaping all set up here, and you can see how we've got it really elevated and it looks really good. I think we added so much dimensionality to it. And as you can see, the rocks on the kind of the cliff that surround the pool are starting to come together. We need to add some custom trees and all that good stuff, but I'm running out of time today, so we'll do those in the next episode. But before we go, let's start working on getting some of this landscape. So we're just kind of getting some plants built up into these beds along here, as you can see. Where we're gonna kind of incorporate, at least what I'm hoping to do, is get some flowers incorporated into this area. So we're just gonna, like we talked about before, we don't want to get crazy. We don't want to get crazy. We don't want to get flower crazy. We just want to, add just a couple around here, like so. And then what we can do now is just kind of fill in with some of these plants, and that I think just looks really nice. We can jump in a couple big guys right here and there, and then of course maybe just a couple small ones just to fill in the background, and that looks really good. So you can see just a small little area above this custom oak. You can see some there, and then just a little bit in this cave area along there. I think it's looking pretty cool. So like we talked about for the olive trees, just kind of, if you want the olive trees, if that's something you want to incorporate in your design, you can just kind of stagger them around. See how I just put them around, not in any real particular order. They're just kind of planted around. I don't want the landscape in the backyard to be super symmetrical. It's got its, symmetricalness to it, if you will. But it's got enough to kind of give it a little bit more of a natural feel, I think. I think it's kind of a really good balance. There we go. And just plant a couple of those in there. And just a small little flower bed like that, I think looks really nice under the trees. And then you can come and just add a couple of little more bits of grass here and there, just to cover up as much as the dirt as possible. And then we can come over here and we can go boom, bada, bam. There we go, looking good, looking good. And of course we can add a fern on the side. And I think that is looking super good. So let's do a tour of our progress today. don't look over here. That's future project. Maybe even a volleyball court, a koi pond, all that good stuff can come in the future. And here we go. So let's look at our progress today. So we've got our pool down here with all of the things that make a proper swimming pool for you to swim laps in. We've got the flags, we've got the block, we've got the lines in the middle there, and we've got our decking around here, and of course our block. We've got some beautiful landscaping all set up and ready to go with some unique trees. We have lawns built up around here, all sorts of good stuff. And yeah, so definitely let me know how you like the design. If you liked it, a like rating would be much appreciated. And until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and we'll see you later. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter.